Hey, what's going on, guys? I had to do something a little creative today because I didn't have anybody to do any recording for me. So I decided to record myself doing these three exercises on TRX. And I was having issues with trying to rotate my video with the software, it kept crashing. So unfortunately, I had to keep it like this way. Um, and so I apologize for that. So hopefully you're not too irritated with that. But I want to talk about these three simple exercises. Okay, we're going to talk about the squat with TRX, the low row with TRX is the right terminology, and the push-up. Again, this is a unique way of me kind of teaching you guys. I'll be able to stop and start in certain points of the movement to kind of explain what's going on. So we're going to see how this goes. If you like it, let me know you like this type of video. I can probably do it like this more often, where I can give you the coaching side. I can pause it between my movements so you get more of an idea of my thought process. So first and foremost, with the TRX band, is the purpose of TRX, guys, is thinking time under tension. Now, time under tension is the absolute key to using the band. And I can't emphasize that enough. Learning to understand the tension in your body, how to create it, how to utilize it to your advantage, so you're not underutilizing the band itself, and you're not getting the full benefit if you're not using tension. So, talking about the squat, the first and foremost, okay, I'm standing up tall right now. The one thing you're gonna notice though in a squat, okay, is making sure that you don't have tension at the top, because you should be able to support your own weight standing. And one of the common themes that people do when they start using a TRX is they grab it and they want to lean into the band. They want to just fall back. But that defeats the purpose of learning to squat with your own balance. So I always say we're going to make sure we have no tension at the top, but we're going to create just enough slack so when I get to the bottom of my squat, you'll see tension. So I'm going to let the video kind of run. Get a couple in, get my feet set up. So as you can see at the bottom of the squat, look at the bottom. See, there's tension in the band right here, okay? And that's what we want. We want tension at the bottom. All the balance is in my feet, in my big toe, the heels of my feet. You can see in my hands, I'm not really squeezing the TRX band tight, so I can really use my balance to perform this exercise. Again, the common mistake is people want to lean back, make it more just a hamstring-based movement, and just push themselves out. It's not really beneficial to life and to movement, and doesn't really translate well. So again, I'm trying to focus on my feet, making sure my feet are grounded. I'm not dancing around too much, getting to the bottom of the squat. Trying not to over pull on the TRX as I'm coming up. Again, this is a good trainer for people that struggle trying to stand up from the squat, especially in the older community. If you're looking to try and stand up, you can use your upper body to pull yourself up, but we still want to create this sense of balance at the bottom. This sense of balance at the bottom, where I feel like I'm supporting myself, is key. You want to support your own weight in a TRX squat, okay? And then we stand up. So again, no real trick here. As you see, I start squeezing a little bit more to kind of show that you can pull yourself up. Now with that, you can also create velocity, speed, standing up from the squat, which is not a bad thing. It's just a different way to train. Checking to make sure the camera can still see me. So that's your TRX squat. Now low row. Now one of the common things here, okay, I'm going to tell you guys something. One of the common things I see a lot of people do here, which I hate dramatically, is people that are first using the TRX, okay, you should keep your feet flat and toes pointed straight, okay? Common mistake people make when they start using this is they try and pick their toes up into the heels to make it more difficult, which it does, but we want to understand our feet being grounded first. Again, we want to learn to control tension in our body. Putting tension in our body doesn't require our heels being up, it just adds a difficulty factor. So if we're picking our toes up, because we don't feel when our feet is down, then that's not the right mentality of why we pick up our toes. We pick up our toes for difficulty. We don't pick up our toes because we don't feel it with our feet down. So a lot of times when I see people use it, or people being trained to use this very irresponsibly, they haven't picked their toes up. And unless you understand that it's supposed to be a difficulty increase, you should never pick up your toes until you understand the time under tension in your own body. Just because you pick up your toes and you quote unquote feel it, and when your toes are down you don't feel it, is a bad response. Okay, we want to make sure our wrists are neutral. Okay, I always say when we're pulling the TRX in, I like to look wherever the TRX knotted. I like to look like 3 inches above the knot, and I always make sure I'm pulling my elbows straight back. Okay, common mistake people make is that they bend their elbows too much, and they make it more like a bicep row, and don't get just those the mid back muscles firing up here. Look where my hands are. My hands are right by my belly button. See, there's like a 90-degree angle with my elbow. That's the focus. You want to make sure we're keeping tension nice and tight. There's tension in the band. See the band's tension. My feet are flat. Okay, everything's nice and tight here at the top end, creating contraction. Okay. Again, when we perform these exercises on TRX, we're looking. Usually, this is time. We never want to just do reps with TRX. I always say time's good. 30-second intervals is a good way to play this game. If you can't hold tension for 30 seconds, then hold 20 seconds of tension. I mean, it's a game of tension. Hold tension to really challenge your body strength. I think I start picking my toes up a little bit, just kind of give you guys an idea. See, then makes it more difficult, right, to squeeze my glutes. Now I got to squeeze my glutes a little more, make sure I'm balanced, nice and tight. And that's why we pick up our toes. So again, we pick up our toes to increase difficulty. We don't pick up our toes because we don't feel it with our toes down. Okay, so don't just do it to do it. Understand why you do it. Understand. And then the last one I'm going to go over is going to be the TRX push-up. I see that my camera can't really catch it, so I have to move my camera so you guys can see it. Alright, TRX push-ups. Okay, first and foremost, okay, when we set up to do our TRX push-up, okay, it's not too much care about the depth. Okay, couple things. We want a nice neutral wrist. Okay, you might look at my wrist, they're neutral. Okay, and I want you to notice when I set up the band is not rubbing up against my arm. Okay, common mistake people make when they start performing this exercise is the band's rubbing up against their arm, and then they're doing TRX push-ups and they just create all these burn marks on their arm, and it cannot feel good. So neutral wrist, make sure the band's not touching, and again, we're looking at time under tension. I'm not looking too much speed here. It's all about time under tension. Nice and controlled, elbows wide, and again, creating tension, nice and tight in the belly. Okay, now I could go lower if I wanted to, but again, you don't have to. If I did this for a minute interval for 5 rounds, it would be just as nasty for me as it is for you. Yeah, I might be able to get more reps than you, but that's going to make it harder for me, as opposed if I were just to slide myself all the way down. Yeah, it looks cool, but you know, it's all about keeping time under tension. I want to hold that tension as long as I can on the muscle and then squeeze out. Again, notice the band does not rub up against me. Squeezing our glutes nice and tight, toes into the ground, and we're breathing. So again, guys, these are the 3 simple exercises. You can apply this, do it for 5 rounds, trying to accumulate a minute of work in each. You can rest 1 to 2 minutes after each set, and TRX is a great workout. It's safe if done right. It's a beautiful thing. I used to love doing this every day, all day, and it just makes your body feel good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little version of my fitness video for the day. Again, if you kind of like this version of it, let me know in the comments, or if you really don't care, you can let me know too. And yeah, I'll see you guys later at the gym.